pedaling still, but you're going to be in your biggest gear trying to keep the speed up. That's what makes it tough for a solo rider to be off the front here. Any riders who get together chasing and have the ability to rely on another rider to pull through and use the momentum gained by the draft, they're going to be making up time on this rider. So Julien Bernard now with about 20 seconds over that chase group of 4. It's going to be tough for him to hold off, but it's going to be all up to his legs on this next time up the climb. And obviously he showed that he's ready and willing to suffer to get up the Bountiful bench faster than other riders.
After being in the break all day long, he actually looks pretty comfortable, looks very confident right now, getting in that aerodynamic position, turning the legs over. Julien Bernard on his way, trying to win stage number 5 of the Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah. Here's our chase group right behind. It consists of 4 riders, but I think semi-soon, I think that group with TJ Eisenhart and the Costa Rican national champion Chavarria are about to be able to come back up to these guys. We'll have to kind of pay attention to where our chase group's looking over their shoulder. These guys, they have a sense. It's like a sixth sense that they realize that the group is coming from behind. Julien Bernard was right there, right in front of them, and that's not a good sign, because when you have somebody in your sights, it's much easier to track them down. 2 kilometers to go, those leaders are getting, and that means that when they cross the finish line, there's still 1 lap to go of the 14-kilometer circuit.
Eddie Dunbar there, number 92 in action. Hagens Berman just behind Matt Boucher, number 12 there. That's Bully. He is suffering 1,000 deaths up there in this breakaway now. He has been reabsorbed and is just looking to survive to the next time up, but he has his teammate, TJ Eisenhart. TJ Eisenhart, a new addition to the BMC team. It's going to be up to him to use those good legs that he has shown so far this week to maybe launch out of that group on the climb and have a shot at catching up to Julien Bernard here. So you look for Bully to lay everything out on the line for his teammate.
Well, a few riders we saw looking over their shoulder, trying to see where the riders are that are behind him, but for Julien Bernard, he's not looking over his shoulder, focused on the front as they're coming around the left-hand turn right now. Beautiful area in downtown Bountiful, U.S. American flags lining across all the streets. 5 kilometers to the KOM right now as they're getting ready to come through. 1 kilometer to go to the finish line, but this is what they're going to receive, which is going to be bell lap. 1 lap to go, and our 4 riders definitely are starting to take back time on our current race leader.
Yeah, very tough for that solo rider to stay away, as we talked about. They're going to make a right-hand turn, go directly into this finish area, and they're going to get a look at that sprint, and that's going to pay off for the next lap, because if you look at just how much everyone has been suffering, if you have the ability to pick your head up and identify things that will trigger a response, you know, you've turned this right-hand corner, you're inside of a K, you know, where is that pothole? Where is that thing that signifies I should start sprinting here? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that will help a winner get a stage. And you look at these riders here, 2 UAC, Chris Jones and Dan Eaton. We've got them really, really close to Julien Bernard. We have Evan Huffman in orange. He's been pretty quiet on this circuit. He was able to climb pretty fast near the front, but he hasn't really been pulling that hard to chase back Julien Bernard. So playing a little bit of cat and mouse is in everyone's best interest, but not too much, because you don't want to give this guy too much leash.
Julien Bernard disposed of all of these guys last time up the climb relatively easy. How much this effort of going solo is that going to take out of his legs? Or the next time they hit the climb, do you think he's going to be able to distance himself again from these 4 riders? Because if these 4 riders stick together, they'll be able to track him down the way they have right now, but even more so because they're going to know the finish line's on the line.
This is a new addition to the circuit this year. That instead of going a little farther, they're going to shorten it up and go straight up this other pitch. It's not as steep as the real climb, but it is still a false flat section, so watch for a little bit of an acceleration here if they have the legs. Bernard ditching his water bottle there, taking a look back again. He knows he's been caught, but he also has that confidence, as you mentioned, Frankie. He was able to drop everyone the last time through. Really, he needs to look past those 4 riders and see where the other chase group is, because that is where the fresh legs lay. I mean, these riders have all been in the breakaway all day. They've watched each other pull each and every lap, each and every time, so they know exactly how they're all riding, what is happening with that chase group, and who has the best legs out of that group.
Julien Bernard picking up 3 seconds at that sprint bonus, so that's going to put him even at 6 minutes. So he's 6 minutes down in the general classification. The rest of the riders now They're all just setting tempo. They're almost like letting him sit up there. This is kind of the, I don't want to say the false flat, but the kind of the climb before the climb. The steeper portion is coming a little bit later. That's when Julian Bernard had attacked and had dropped everybody. So right now the United Healthcare are starting to be able to come to the front. Looking over their shoulder really, as Tim, you mentioned it, they need to really be worried about that chase group that is actually behind this group right here.
Yeah, and hearing how they've gone through the finish line, you know that they're under full gas. Chris Jones taking a look back just before the corner to make sure he knows exactly where they stand. They're going to continue on and make a right-hand turn, and that is where the climb will lay out in front of them one more time. Thankfully, they're not doing this a third time because, believe me, this is not a fun way to start your finish approach. It's very, very tough. Dane Eaton there, number 87. Evan Huffman going through with the orange of Rally Cycling. And watch this climb just kind of expose itself off in front, heading all the way up into the horizon. This is very, very tough. And it looks like Julian Bernard has started to reestablish his break. He's got in the big ring. He's going to hold this thing as long as he can. Looks like that was about it. He's dropped it down to the small ring, but he is still on his own. Even if they haven't caught him, he knows that they're right there. But again, that chase group is really the one he should be worried about.
First chase group is about 5 seconds behind Julian Bernard. The other chase group is about 35 seconds trying to catch back up. That was consisted of a larger group. Cataford led all of the climbs right now, and he's leading on this climb as he has Chris Jones and Daniel Eaton on the wheel, and it's Evan Huffman. Got to give a lot of credit. Evan Huffman's, he's kind of a stockier, bigger rider, a time trialist, doing a fantastic ride from Rally Cycling to stay in the hunt and to stay up there as Cataford looks over his shoulder, trying to sense how many guys are coming up. They're gonna see that, and as team cars are going by, they're gonna start noticing where everybody is. TJ Eisenhart is the rider from BMC, flying up the right-hand side. Unbelievable ride. This guy just came into the World Tour, dropping a couple riders. The Costa Rican national champion going off the back, and he's going to definitely catch up to these 4 riders. He's going for it. He's going to try to win the stage.
And bringing with him another fresh set of legs, relatively, Matt Boucher, who's in the breakaway almost all day yesterday. He's wearing the red jersey for most aggressive. That'll make 3 United Healthcare riders in this front group. So very, very high numbers for them. But TJ Eisenhart looking very, very fresh. He can see Julian Bernard just in front of that group, so he's going to go right by them. It's really tough to respond when you have been in a breakaway for more than 100 miles and you see someone like TJ Eisenhart wearing the Young Riders jersey, who's really just borrowing it for BMC. He's going to just ride right by these guys, and I don't know that they're going to be able to hold on whatsoever because this climb is so steep. Watch it continue on and just go up and up and up. All of these riders now know the score. They know exactly how hard it is, but TJ Eisenhart looking very, very good right now.
The other 2 riders, Eddie Dunbar and Hayden McCormick from One Cycling right there. Huffman able to respond to get onto the wheel, and right now very fast. And as you mentioned, the fresh legs make such a big difference right now. So they're trying to track down Julian Bernard, which is just in front of him. Matthew Boucher sitting in there. TJ Eisenhart, he's in the blue jersey, and Matthew Boucher is actually in the red jersey. United Healthcare with a nice stack of riders in this front group right now.
Chris Jones doing an amazing job. He's taking his last pull. This is all for Matt Boucher, the rider in 3rd position. Chris Jones has been in the breakaway all day. His legs are aching. They're absolutely exploding in pain, but look at his effort. He's pedaling directly down into the pedals. There's no circle anymore. He is just struggling as much as Julian Bernard here is not more than 50 feet ahead of them. He is barely making it up here, maybe paying the price for going a little bit too early last lap, but Chris Jones doing what he can for Matt Boucher.
Almost all day in the break, and now Julian Bernard is trying to stay away, but he seems to be dropping anchor, almost like he has 2 flat tires, because the fresh legs from riders from the main peloton now are taking off, and it's Matthew Boucher from United Healthcare on the right-hand side. He's been U.S. Pro Road Champion before, and right now looking very confident out of the saddle. TJ Eisenhart perhaps doing a little bit too much work early on in the bottom parts of the climb. Boucher sat back and said, by all means, you keep pulling.
And weightlifting on the climb. He's doing a leg press every single time he presses on those pedals. Matt Boucher looking like he's using every little bit of energy that he's been storing away. TJ Eisenhart looked so good at the base of this climb, now is getting left behind, but you can see the agony that Boucher is under. You can't possibly understand how much pain this is. Everyone wants to be a professional cyclist until they actually get the chance to do it. Just because of moments like this, he is struggling so hard right now. He doesn't want to look behind him because it doesn't really matter. He is going as hard as he possibly can, paying no mind at all. TJ Eisenhart now with Eddie Dunbar just barely tagging onto his wheel. They're hopeful that they're going to be tagged out of this by a teammate. You know, think about where Joey Roscoff is from BMC. Think about where Colin Joyce is, or maybe even Adrian Costa. Watch for a GC move from behind, because those riders are in the peloton and they should be chasing up here. And I can just start to see a couple of jerseys coming into the left-hand side of the frame here. So watch who might be looking for that late move to try and make a move.
Matthew Boucher continuing to push the pace, trying to get to the top of that KOM. He was able to sit on and kind of get a free ride off of that BMC train of TJ Eisenhart because he had two riders in front. Now everybody has been reabsorbed except for Matthew Boucher, but the explosion is all over the place on this final climb. When they reach the top, it is going to be a short distance down to the bottom. Of course, we talked about the false flat over the top. This is going to be the danger for Boucher. If 4 or 5 riders can actually get together, they're going to be able to do a focused, concentrated chase, gradually be able to track him down. So you're going to have good legs coming over the top of this.
And we know how unlikely that really is, because once you start to get riders from different teams that don't really want to invest that kind of energy, it makes it great for the rider who is off the front alone, who has that chance still. We're looking at the Nippo Vini Fantini rider. It looks like number 51 here. That is Damiano Cunego. So former Giro d'Italia winner, who's really hasn't shown much so far this week, but now he's going to be up there trying to make a name for himself. This kind of circuit would be helpful for a rider of his stature. He's very, very small, can climb, but watch out for the group behind, because there is the peloton. Looks like we have a big attack by Adrian Costa right there, wearing that best climbers jersey, the KOM jersey, making a move. While up here at the front, we still have Boucher off the front, but watch Eddie Dunbar to take a look back and see his teammate Adrian Costa starting to catch as he has just made the connection to Matt Boucher. So now 2 riders in the front. Matt Boucher still pushing those pedals, trying to get to the KOM line. It takes forever to get to the top of this climb. It really is such a drag on any kind of energy you have left in your body.
Action Hagens-Berman won this stage last year in a surprise field sprint with Logan Owen, and right now Eddie Dunbar, Irish under-23 national time trial champion, has made it up to Boucher and is now his counterattack right over the top of Boucher. Eddie Dunbar going away, and look at the Colombian rider from James, Brian Sanchez, coming. That's not Brian Sanchez.
That's Acevedo.
Acevedo, my bad. Okay.
Jaime Acevedo now going for the attack out of the group for James. He has been also hidden in the pack. We haven't seen him in any of the earlier climbs, but now here he is going for the big move, trying to catch Eddie Dunbar, who took his chance at attacking. You watch these riders put everything into a move, but it doesn't last forever. They're nearly dead in 50 meters. Watch how long Eddie Dunbar can last up here, and if he can do it up to the top of this next section, then he will have a good shot, at least holding steady over the top of the ridgeline and waiting for other riders to collect themselves behind. But look at Acevedo. He is flying up this section.
Rider 111, that one representing the leader of James Sutterholm. Acevedo flying up this section. Everyone can remember the incredible ride that he did at Tour California in Palm Springs, 110 degrees. He's out of the saddle sprinting and going to catch Eddie Dunbar by surprise, going right over the top of him. Now the danger here is, I believe, United Healthcare has 3 riders in the back. I'm not sure how spread out they are, but if they can come back together, they could have a chance of getting together to be able to track down our lead 2 riders. Acevedo right now on the front from James Sutterholm. Eddie Dunbar, so 2 riders, and then right behind that we saw TJ Eisenhart. And here is our main peloton. This is relatively close because the other guys just went across that KOM.
Now we're looking at a lot of riders looking behind themselves, trying to figure out who is coming up. We have the yellow jersey, Lachlan Morton. He's attacked out of the group. He's got Talansky right in front of him. You have Rob Britton trying to hold the wheel. Lachlan Morton just rocketing up the road. Talansky trying to get back on the wheel, get back on turns. But I think I saw Jaramillo from United Healthcare attacking earlier. So watch for them to start picking up the remnants of the breakaway. But look at that. the peloton is in shreds.
Last year at the top, it would slow down, it would accelerate. They would take counterattack off of the top of each other, and it's spread out all over the place. Atapuma right now, where did he come from? Now starting to come up to the leaders, and so right now you can see in the front, it looks like a little bit of conversation going on with Eddie Dunbar and
well, they have to
Azevedo, but also this is another Action Hagens-Berman rider coming up.
That's Geoghegan Hart there, the British rider, but watch those two at the front. They have to become best friends really quickly because otherwise they're going to get eaten alive by Atapuma. Look at his approach here. Another quick little ascent. This is one of those pitches. There are 3 of them after the KOM line that come thick and fast before they start rocketing down towards downtown again. But watch Atapuma now. He's looking behind him, seeing Lachlan Morton hammering back there. He wants to try and get any kind of a distance he can, but there's no way that Morton is going to let this go just because he understands that if there's one BMC rider who's attacking, there's 2 more sitting on him. He can't let these moves go. He's got to shut them down as quick as he possibly can.
That main pack, we're not really seeing exactly where they are, but I have a feeling they're going to be coming fast and furious as Atapuma is trying to go away from everybody else. He's only 1 minute and 32 seconds down, 1 minute and 32 seconds down in the general classification. But now Action Hagens-Berman, they have 2 riders in the front group. Definitely an advantage. Perhaps they can be able, one rider can attack, another rider can sit on, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Eddie Dunbar looking down, talking into his radio, telling his director Axel Merckx that he is going for it.
Looking really good right there. He looks comfortable. Geoghegan Hart there, he's been sitting on, he's watched his teammates go up the road. The earlier attack by Dunbar is just going to help him out. Look at that. He doesn't even feel the intensity or the urgency to get to the front. He's going to let his teammates sit there and take the pulls because he knows that the peloton is chasing full gas. I see Talansky himself on the front, attacking now off the front. It looks like Roscoff may be going with him. There's a lot of action with GC riders now trying to take their shot. Talansky just a couple seconds behind Lachlan Morton at the start of the day, so they want to continue to apply the pressure, and they don't want to let one move by Darwin Atapuma be the thing that puts him under pressure. They want to add to that flame.
Well, this is coming back, I believe, right now. There's still a little bit more of a flat section with a kicker going up, and a lot of guys are going to have the momentum, and we're going to have a whole group coming back together, spread out across the road, because a lot of riders, they sense how close it is. They know they have the ability to be able to get up there, and after the crazy fast downhill, there's still 3 kilometers to go. Right now, big attack from Cannondale Drapac.
Alex Howes there going for it. He's going to stand up and hammer over this next pitch, hoping to just launch right through them and catch up with Geoghegan Hart here, who has attacked that group earlier. So watch how quickly things change. A lot of these riders are just going back and forth, and Howes trying to make his way from the peloton up towards the front. But these attacks are really, really painful, and whether or not you can do one is not indicative of if you can win. We saw that last year. Logan Owen attacked 4 or 5 times and only got the chance to win by winning the field sprint. So watch how the aggression up here may or may not pay off, and this is really going to set him up for a descent on his own, but he's going to have a chasing group of riders, as we see here, looking like they're going to lay everything on the line on this descent to try and catch him back. Fortuneo Vito Concept there trying to bridge across. That might be Le Danois that we've spoken about, under 23 world champion, trying to make his way towards the front. It's like he's very, very close, just a couple seconds back from the Action Hagens-Berman rider. Cannondale Drapac trying to keep track of what's happening on the front because they have that GC fight in mind. They have 4 riders in this group, a lot of opportunity to do something. Probably chasing may not be what they're after. They should be really marking those moves to try and get someone up there with a stage win.
Well, Alex Howes was trying to go up to it as Geoghegan Hart was trying to go away. Different riders starting to split up. A lot of tactics coming into play. The yellow jersey of Lachlan Morton somewhere in that group as we see a Fortuno Vital Concept rider going away right now. The French rider trying to go it alone as Cannondale Drapac trying to control things, but Action Berman's in good spot. Trek Segafredo. We've talked about Travis McCabe. We've talked about Keel Reinen. We've talked about other riders. Not sure if they're in this group, but the group it's not as small as maybe we thought it is. It's relatively large.
And watch that rider just in front, number 88. That's Jaramillo. He was wearing the KOM jersey from the first day's breakaway, but Jaramillo finished very strongly yesterday, 7th place on the stage. So if this were to come down to a field sprint, watch that rider for being very, very quick in the sprint. One more shot here by Tao Geoghegan Hart. Action Hagens Berman going for it, dropping the Fortuneo Vito concept rider, leaving Cannondale Drapac with the chase. It looks like it is still Alex Howes in the front there. They don't have a rider necessarily for this finish. They're doing this for GC. It's going to be important to see who has the counterattack. Watch this next short little uphill section. It's going to be just enough to trigger a counterattack. Any of these riders coming from behind might be able to take their shot.
Not that large of a group. This could be a good sprint for Andrew Talansky if it comes down to being in position up there. Kiel Reinen looks like is right on Andrew Talansky, so this could be the win that he was looking for. The breakaway's been gone all day long. They thought they were going to be able to survive on the circuits, but the main field has just accelerated. The climb's so tough, it has completely exploded, and we have now a very small elite group of only about 20 riders left.
Alberto Bettiol there in second position. It looks like Laurent Didier, they're going to take a hard right-hand turn and start shooting down the descent. This is that corner. It's going to be a hard left-hand off-camber corner that you see a lot of riders having trouble with. They're going to be going down even faster than the last lap. So watch that rider going far right on the exit. It looks like he almost went into the driveway. I want to see what they were growing in the garden, but this next right-hand turn also is enough to really surprise these riders.
And that can mess you up. You're in a good position in fifth. And when you go wide like that and hit the brakes, all of a sudden you're in 15th. Takes a little bit of effort to be able to bring yourself back up to the front. Right now, I think it's Alex Howes. Kiel Reinen was up there getting ready for the sharp right-hand turn right now as these guys are all in a massive truck trying to keep the speed as high as possible and hitting the brakes right now.
Heavy on the braking right now. Look at that turn. It is so sharp, shooting you off the outside as these riders continue on down back towards the downtown finish. This group looks like maybe 25 riders at most. Right now being led by Alberto Bettiol from Cannondale Drapac. Looks like they have 4 riders in this group. TJ Eisenhart looks like he's recovering, but there goes the first attack by Jameis.
Well, Azevedo had attacked earlier, and it might be him going again. Trek Segafredo in a good spot because he has a teammate up there. He's trying to keep the pace high. Kiel Reinen sitting there in third. Holoweska Citadel, not sure. No, Travis McCabe is wearing the white jersey. TJ Eisenhart right behind there in the blue jersey. Talansky then in the green jersey. So a nice small group. That's Rob Britton in the orange jersey right there. A lot of the GC riders up here in the hunt right now trying to win stage 5.
I do see Lachlan Morton tucked in there, protected. I don't see any teammates though, so he's on his own if something goes wrong. At 4K to go, he's very close to making it inside the 3K to go mark, which generally means that if there is an incident, he won't be hurt by that. He'll be given the same time. So watch these riders, quick left, quick right, heading back towards downtown. This kind of a sprint, timing is everything. Timing can work out very well for you, even if you don't have the legs to win the sprint. I do see a Holowesko Citadel rider there. Not sure exactly who that is, but he's might be Robbie Squire marking the move by TJ Eisenhart. A downhill attack like that, you can only do that if you've got great legs.
TJ Eisenhart flying towards the finish, trying to get there first. Rob Squire marking it from Holoweska Citadel. Slight left-hand turn right now. The big bump that these riders have to get across, and then they're going to start drag racing in towards the finish. But it's a large group with a lot of horsepower. There's the yellow jersey of Lachlan Martin sitting a little bit further back. And right now, Rob Squire coming right over the top. Obviously, Trek Segafredo has been trying to set things up for Kiel Reinen, and they're going to try to do that again right now for this finish.
Holowesko Citadel leading through that corner. Got the Trek Segafredo rider there right behind him. Single file, everyone whipping across the road, trying to figure out which wheel to follow, how not to get dropped. Darnado Puma looking good right there. Alex Howes as well. I see a lot of United Healthcare riders. If they have the Jaramillo card to play, I think they might be looking for that to be the one that'll get them the stage win. They're tucked into the rear end of this peloton.
Oh, he's trying to take a flyer. The BMC rider coming right through the middle. He just managed to squeeze through. He did have to check off some of that speed, though, and that hurt him. He knew it right away when he sat up, so it's too bad. It was a nice move right there.
Yeah, anytime you can use momentum to gather up a little bit of speed. That was Joey Roscoff, so he knows this finish also, and he's very willing to risk a little bit of skin to make that kind of a move. Looking at the 2K to go mark here as they're continuing down towards the finish. Cannondale Drapac not afraid to take another pull, keeping this thing strung out. Look for any kind of a move to be squashed by that rider, the Italian on Cannondale Drapac, Alberto Bettiol.
Well, very dangerous right now as there's not enough teammates to be able to sacrifice themselves to keep the pace or do a lead out. Every time they slow down, riders are kind of coming off, having a lot of momentum. Kiel Reinen on Trek Segafredo starting to move up. He's going to have 2 teammates to be able to help him with this lead out as they are under 2 kilometers to go.
Now,
Evan Huffman on the right-hand side in the back, the Costa Rican national champion Chavarria on the back. Jaramillo, we have seen him get up there in the sprints from United Healthcare, waiting to see if he's going to be able to make that move also.
Watching for the riders to do well here. They're the ones that are going to be patient. You have a hard left-hand turn. You have a hard right-hand turn. That'll be the 1K to go mark. It's just coming up quickly. So watch how fast they make this last turn. It's going to be full gas all the way across the road. You have the final lead out here by Pete Stedna of Trek Segafredo, trying to help out Kiel Reinen. He's sitting in about 7th position. That is good for this downhill sprint.
So as a reminder, if Adrian Costa win this or Andrew Talansky, they could take over the yellow jersey because of the 10-second time bonus at the finish. So that's something to keep in mind. Lachlan Morton in the yellow jersey is in this group, but it is a chaotic, flat, open sprint right now. Betsy All from Cannondale Drapac trying to keep it going. Roscoff almost sitting up, no, staying onto the wheel. Look at where Trek Segafredo is right now, trying to lead out Kiel Reinen.
Watch the rider who's going to be patient coming from the back. Not afraid to settle in, be patient a little bit, and then make one big move. That's what we saw last year with Logan Owen. Roscoff looking over his shoulder. Rob Britton, Kiel Reinen. Kiel Reinen sitting in about 4th or 5th position. Might be boxed in a little bit. We've got the Novo Nordisk rider there. We have 3rd place with BMC as well, but Roscoff going for the early lead out, looking like he might have a chance of holding on, but watch Kiel Reinen on the left-hand side coming up quick. He's going to be making his way towards the front and has a great chance of getting this win. 2 Cannondale Drapac riders trying to catch up, unable to do so. We have a great stage victory by Kiel Reinen, Trek Segafredo. So close yesterday, unable to make it to the finish of stage 1. Big victory for that team. Big
victory by Kiel Reinen. They've been trying to get there, and it was unbelievable. Joey Roscoff went from what? 400 meters out. I mean, it was like a super long lead out. Finally, the Novo Nordisk got onto him. Kiel Reinen timed it perfectly. He didn't win from the massive bunch sprint. Some of the riders were too fast for him, but when it is uphill, when it's strong, when it's hard, very difficult, he is the fastest. You could see the speed difference that he had on everyone else. So congratulations to Kiel Reinen with a fantastic win, adding that to his resume. Nice win for Trek Segafredo as we see the replay, and look at Kiel Reinen going by everybody, nobody having a chance to be able to get up there, and then banging on the handlebars right at the end. Theo Guggenhardt not happy with finishing in 2nd place.
We have Alex Howes, who's sitting right there at number 3, as well as Talansky getting into top 5, followed up by Jaramillo there from United Healthcare. So it's amazing to watch the same riders play a part in different types of finishes. You know, something that is a legitimate field sprint, something like this, which only happens after so many attacks and counterattacks. You know, you talk about having the skill and the power that Kiel Reinen had, but it was also about timing. You watched how long he waited before he finally pulled the trigger and went for the big sprint, being congratulated by his teammates here. They know that there's a big monkey off of his back now. They've all put in the time. They've all put in those hours of pulling.
Also off their back.
Right.
Because they've done a fantastic job in working to get it done. Super stoked to be able to have Kiel Reinen win. And so also, you know, he's come off he's had 2 wins at a USA Pro Challenge, the Tour of Colorado. And honestly, probably one of the most unluckiest riders at any time he goes to his national championships. He's had such an opportunity to be able to become a US Pro national champion, but always something goes wrong with a flat tire or a crash, missing the right move. Definitely a huge talent, and the harder the course, the faster he seems to be. So let's take a look again at a replay of our finishing sprint right there. Roscoff from a long way down. Novo Nordisk trying to get onto that wheel. The rest of the riders coming in. Guggenhardt really sensing that he could make it. And then it was Cannondale Drapac on the side. Those 2 riders coming extremely close, trying to bring that back in. And again, I had mentioned that's Talansky and Alex Howes. Talansky, if he could have won, that would have been 10-second bonus. He would have taken over the yellow jersey, but that's a nice snap of speed. And I thought Talansky would have some speed in the finish today.
No, that was a very quick finish. That was Mejias from Novo Nordisk, who was there very early on when Roscoff was on the front, but really that was so far from the finish line that he was impossible to keep that pace, and especially as we saw last year's finish in a similar manner. That win by Logan Owen,
it's
really
amazing.
was a late move.
Late move, but it's amazing. Mejias, he was second on that wheel, and when the sprint came, the speed difference, and then he ended